Hello everybody and welcome to the crypto session brief. We're on Thursday the 19th of January 2023. Crypto's taken a turn back around to the downside over the past 24 hours of trade, let's say, mainly off the back of data that got released out of the US yesterday, and also the trade and price action that we saw on the likes of the S&P and Nasdaq yesterday. I did say probably that would be they would be the key markets to watch for where Bitcoin and crypto goes in general yesterday, and it proved to be the case. So let's just take a look at that in particular. This moved down initially. This was off the back of poor PPI. Well, it was actually a miss on PPI, so I shouldn't say poor because it was actually a promising move in PPI. So you initially saw a spike on the S&P, in fact, but we saw, more importantly, a move lower in retail sales. So that was the key driver yesterday for market sentiment, retail sales. And then the likes of Microsoft announcing that they're going to axe 10,000 jobs just added to overall market sentiment, plus technical rejections for the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq at key technical channel resistance, and you saw some selling, and it's been a pretty strong start to the year if truth be told for risk. So I did mention that buyers were starting to look a little bit exhausted after the run that we've been on over the past 2 weeks, and we can see here that reflected basically in price action. So you can see with the Ethereum yesterday, we've moved off that 1600 back below 1550, but still finding enough support over the past 24 hours at 1500. So that looks a pretty key level, 1500 moving forward, doesn't it? Bitcoin as well, you can see we dipped below the 21,128. It wasn't disastrous if truth be told. We did bounce back, albeit we rejected at my 21,128 handle, and so far today it's been super thin, so nothing to report at all so far today apart from watch them downsides. So it's a case of breaking yesterday's low, push down into 20k, or we find some consolidation now between 21,850 and then this region that we're in now of 2,500, so around a 1,000 point range potentially for BTC. Ripple absolutely going nowhere. Litecoin probably showing the worst signs of selling there, with the move down through 88 into 84 and weren't able to hold at that level. We were discussing yesterday 84 maybe holds, but now it's the case, do we see 80 printed on Litecoin before too long? Again, like I said, the red on this chart a little bit different to what we've seen on BTC, but nevertheless could still be able to hold successfully and print another higher low in this overall trend higher around 82 or 80 from here. Not too much else to add from my end. There's no major crypto news, albeit I did actually post inside the chat room this morning, inside the crypto chat, just let me find it, that crypto firm Genesis is preparing to file for bankruptcy. So that obviously wouldn't be ideal. They're laying the groundwork for a bankruptcy filing as soon as this week. They're a lending unit of Digital Currency Group and have been in confidential negotiations with various creditor groups amid a liquidity crunch. It warned that it may need to file for bankruptcy if it fails to raise cash that was previously. Financial problems at Digital Currency Group began to emerge after the collapse of 3 Arrows Capital. Genesis suspended withdrawals in November, soon after crypto exchange FTX, where Genesis held some of its funds, filed for bankruptcy. So that's something to watch moving forward. I was discussing with Drew inside the chat room this morning, because Drew had replied saying it's interesting seeing the news of Genesis considering the price action that we've seen in BTC. It was up almost 28% heading into this week, for example. But I was explaining that I think this move that we've seen in BTC is basically a flavour of risk appetite. That's it. We've seen stocks heading upwards, and I think all we've seen is a risk appetite so far this year. But is that just starting to show some signs of turning now? Like I mentioned, check out the S&P chart and Nasdaq, because the correlation with BTC appears to have re-emerged, and you can see that big rejection on the S&P at the key trend level there, the downtrend level at 4,000, and also on Nasdaq I had somewhere too, but basically the same sort of picture where you're seeing the rejection and again pushing lower today. So that could suggest that we might see cryptos heading lower today as well. So that's something to be watched, and markets that I do look at when I'm looking to trade cryptos as well is what's overall market sentiment. Pretty much it from my end. I will wrap up on that note. I did have a bit more to add in the end, but I'll leave it there for today. Until next time, all the best with your crypto trading, and bye for now.